It's in our blood, it's in our bones. Orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes. Get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs. Yeah, we all dogs. Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reniker, Justin Charles, Kenny Mack, and Josh All. We all dogs!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Josh All, your host. Happy Monday, everybody. Let me know immediately here in the comments. I want to get the conversation going with you guys. How are you feeling about the Browns' first preseason game against the Bears from Saturday, now that we're 2 days past, with some time to let everything soak in, go back, think about what we saw, read some of the reports, the comments after the game? How are you feeling right now about the Browns as they enter week 2 of the NFL preseason this year? So this week obviously is a big one. The Browns have their joint practice with the Bills on Thursday. I'm going to talk about the schedule for the week real quick. I want to talk just basic takeaways for me after a couple days to think about everything. Obviously, we'll talk about quarterbacks, but I don't want the conversation today. I know people get so tired of hearing about the quarterbacks only. We've got other stuff to talk about, other players and positions that we need to discuss. And then I've got some predictions, not reports, nothing concrete on my end, just my gut feeling on how this week is going to play out. Got a couple voicemails to go through, a message from the website. It's a great morning, and I just appreciate everybody being here today. We'll do a preview for the Bills game later in the week. Obviously, we'll do the recap of the reaction show after the game is over and all that. But right now, let's dive into how things are looking for the Browns this week. Before I do, make sure you guys go to jointhedogs.com. That's a great online Browns fan community. If you want to get in there, yesterday in the Discord, you get access to our private Discord, by the way. They were breaking down the all 22 film in there from the preseason game. It was, if you really want to get into some good, strong conversations about the Browns and stuff like that with other people that just love this team, to death, that's the place to be. Jointhedogs.com. Make sure you guys get in there, check it out. We'd love to meet all of you guys. So I think what I want to do here, you know what? Let me kick off the show with my voicemail here from Caleb.
Hey, my name's Caleb. I'm from Cleveland. I've called a couple times, but I'm calling a day late just because I needed a day to marinate and get my thoughts together. I thought our young guys looked unreal in this preseason game. I think Casey looked unbelievable. I think Boston, even though I think he had one catch, it was a first down for 15 yards, and you just got to see his size against, another NFL defense. I mean, he just jumped over the guy, caught the ball. It was fantastic. Dylan Sampson ran for a big chunk. That was awesome. Casey got, he got the punt return for like 40 yards or something like that. I think they looked amazing. I may be overzealous here, but I traded after the draft in my Dynasty Football League, A.J. Brown and Zay Flowers for Boston and Casey. I'm a very optimistic Browns fan. I don't know if it's really going to live up to those two guys, but I'm really excited to see them on my team. And, man, unfortunately, Deshaun looked all right, but Shadur might still be the guy. You let me know.
All right, Caleb, thank you so much for the voicemail. Yeah, it's good to hear from you again. The young guys that is where I want to start the conversation. A couple days later, just thinking about that game, the Browns are we the youngest team in the NFL? I think we're the youngest team. If not, we're one of the, on average, the average age of our players, one of the youngest, if not the youngest in the entire NFL. And you saw that in the game on Saturday where the starters, the starting offense, starting defense, and again, I understand we were playing against the Bears backups on both sides. So got to take it with a grain of salt. But I thought the two units looked good. I thought the starting offense moved the ball well. It looked like there was some cohesion there. And like I said on the reaction show, the fact that we were able to pick up a 1st and 25, that's not something we would have ever done in years past. under Kevin with that offense. So that was encouraging to see. The Browns defense forced, a 3-and-out on the first 2 drives, I believe, for the Bears. So things like that, the game started out okay. It was once the backups took over that everything just fell apart as far as, an actual football game on the field is considered. So the offense looked bad. The defense got gashed. And that's because our backups are so young. We've had a lot of UDFAs out there playing in this preseason game. Rookies that weren't even drafted. And you can find value with UDFAs. There are plenty of them who come in the league and become impact players for their teams and starters, but not that many. So the Browns were definitely behind the 8 ball with, who they have as their depth pieces. But Caleb, to your point, KC Concepcion, been telling you guys since the draft, once this kid gets onto an NFL football field in an actual game situation, you're going to see exactly how the Browns plan to use KC and exactly how strong his skill set really is. And you saw it Saturday. You saw it in just one half of football. He caught, 3 passes for 27 yards on 4 targets. So right there, you went into a fantasy football reference. You got 4 targets to this guy just in the first half of a preseason game where we're trying to just feel things out. And he had the 1 end-around rush for 14 yards and the touchdown. He had a punt return for 31 yards, 72 all-purpose yards in one half of football in his first ever NFL action. I don't care if it's regular season, preseason. The kid's never stepped onto an NFL football field before in his life in any situation against an opposing team, and he puts up 72 all-purpose. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. So that's encouraging to see. You're right. Denzel Boston, I know it was just the 1 grab, but it was smooth. It was fluid. It was effortless. I think he's going to be a very, very good receiver for us. And yeah, Dylan Sampson, I'm optimistic. I'm praying that this coaching staff knows how to use him, because Kevin and his staff last year didn't know how to use Dylan Sampson. It looked like they did after the first game against the Bears, but after that, it's like they had no clue. So I'm hoping that they know how to use Dylan Sampson, because I think once he gets a crease and he gets up to full speed, he's gone. Like, I posted that on social media and somebody said, he's not that fast because the safety was able to come over and make the tackle on that screen pass. And I said, well, that's because the safety is a professional football player, made a very good pursuit angle and pinned Dylan Sampson to the sideline. There was nowhere to go. I think if that screen pass of Dylan Sampson streaking that fast up the seam, more toward the middle of the field, and there's no sideline to pin him against, and he's got more area of the field to work away from the pursuit of the safety, that's a touchdown. He's gone. So I'm very excited about Dylan Sampson. Quinshon Judkins, I know it was a rough outing for all of our running backs in terms of running the ball. We need the offensive line to, one, get decided upon who the heck is going to be the 5 starters. Let them get some cohesion, some chemistry together, and let's really start building this run game. Maybe a little overreaction on my part over the weekend with how bad the run game was the entire game, but it's coming from 2 straight years now of, really 3. 2023 wasn't all that much better either. Not being able to run the ball very effectively. So we need to get back to Cleveland Browns, AFC North, being able to run the football. If you want to help out whichever quarterback ends up playing, that's the best way to do it, to be able to have an effective run game. So Caleb, I appreciate your voicemail. Everybody in the comments, let Caleb know. What did you guys think about his dynasty fantasy football trade? A.J. Brown and Zay Flowers for Denzel Boston and KC Concepcion. Caleb, I'll give you my 2 cents. I love Denzel Boston. I love KC Concepcion. Putting them both on the same roster in replacement of A.J. Brown and Zay Flowers, I probably would have picked one or the other, buddy. I'll be honest with you. I probably would have gone one or the other. My philosophy over the years has always kind of been, I don't like the roster Browns players in dynasty football because it just hasn't worked out all that well in the past. But hey, we're hoping that we're entering a new era and things are going to be different. So Caleb, thank you for the voicemail. Listen, everybody, the plan for the week, this is what Todd Monken said for practice heading into preseason week 2 against the Bills. So today is Monday. It's going to be Shedeur Sanders Day with the ones. The team will be in shells. Tomorrow will be Deshaun Watson's day with the ones. The team will be in pads. Wednesday will be Shedeur's turn again with the ones. The team will be in shorts in preparation for Thursday's joint practice with the Bills, which will be a full padded, full go, kind of like a faux scrimmage. It's not a preseason game, obviously, but it's going to be very much full go situational scrimmaging against another team. So it's going to be a lot of first team Bills offense and defense versus first team Browns offense and defense. He did say, Monken said that Deshaun and Shedeur will split reps on Thursday in that joint practice. And then obviously Friday's the walkthrough. Saturday is the game. Shedeur Sanders will start that game. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of prediction stuff here and stuff that has been said. So Todd Monken did say after the game on Saturday, going into it, he felt that, it was still a pretty close competition between Deshaun and Shedeur. And he said it wouldn't be fair to Shedeur not to give him the same opportunity to start one of these preseason games against the Bills. But here's the kicker. In that quote, he said, even if he's not playing with a lot of the same guys. So I need everybody to understand this. And I got some, I'll go into some other things here in a minute, but the starters are going to get a lot of reps, a lot of full go contact reps, scrimmage style reps in practice on Thursday. And I know what's going to happen. Shedeur's going to go out there on Saturday and the starting O-line is going to be the backups. And people are going to freak out and get really mad about it. You got to understand the ebb and flow of an NFL season, preseason, all this stuff. It would be it's difficult for a team to go and say, okay, look, all my starters, you guys are going to get a lot of full contact scrimmage reps on Thursday, but then I want you to go out there 2 days later and do it again. Teams don't typically do that, okay? So this is not like this is a Brown-specific thing. I don't want to hear any sabotage stuff about this. I'm trying to tell you guys up front right now, this is common practice for NFL teams. So starters getting these reps on Thursday, you're not going to see starters, many if any, on Saturday, okay? And I would predict that the starting offensive line with Shedeur Sanders on Saturday is going to consist of potentially they let Spencer Fano start at left tackle because I think they still want to get him more reps. Again, I was talking about this with somebody over the weekend, and they said, well, what did you think about Fano playing further into the quarter than all the other starters? And I said, he hasn't played left tackle in like 2 or 3 years now at Utah. He moved over to right tackle once Caleb Lomu came to campus. So he's making the transition now back to left tackle where he started. It's been a few years, and now he's at the NFL level. He needs the reps. He needs reps there to get ready for week 1. So there's a chance Spencer Fano plays maybe the first 1 or 2 series with Shedeur and the first team on Saturday. If not, it will be DeJuan Jones, would be my guess, at left tackle starting. Left guard, Zion Johnson will not play on Saturday. It'll probably be Jack Conley, who was the first guy up after Johnson came out on Saturday. So I would imagine that stays the same. Your starting center will not be Elgton Jenkins. It will be Luke Whippler on Saturday. And your right guard, maybe they let Tevin Jenkins, maybe they have him out there for a series or 2, just because there's still kind of a battle for right guard, although I think it's pretty much decided. If not, it will be KT Leviston. And then at your right tackle will be Austin Barber. So that's going to be your starting offensive line when the game kicks off and the first series opens up on Saturday against the Bills. This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. All right, Browns fans, we've all messed around with the sports books before, right? And let's be honest, you're always kind of playing against the house. But with Kalshi, it's different. You're not betting against some sports book. You're trading against other real-world people. There's no house trying to beat you. Kalshi just runs the marketplace. So if you think the public is wrong and the Browns can make the playoffs in Todd Monken's first year, or Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, one of those guys can win Offensive Rookie of the Year, you can take the other side of the market, and then if you're right, that's a big payout for you. And it's not just sports either. You can trade on other real-world stuff, interest rates, inflation, even wild weather outcomes. It works like this. Simple yes or no markets, your risk is capped up front, and your payout is locked in. So if you trust your takes and instincts, and I know you guys do, go check out Kalshi and see what markets are live right now. So use our link in the description or just head over to kalshi.com/dogs, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, to earn up to $500 when you trade 25. Kalshi, because why shouldn't you guys get paid for being right? This episode is sponsored by MyBookie. Football is back, everybody, and whether you've been betting for years or you're just looking to put a little action on the games now, MyBookie is where I'm playing this season. Now, I'll be sharing some of the spots I'm looking at along the way, but you don't need to be an expert or blindly tail anybody. Find a play you like and take a shot. That's what I like about MyBookie. You can find the action you want and bet it wherever you are when the game kicks off. And if you're new to the club, the Bet Back bonus gives you protection on your first play. Just sign up using our promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, opt into the Bet Back bonus, and take your first shot with the safety net. If your first wager loses, you'll get it right back. No questions asked. Football is finally here. Get in now and cash in on the season with MyBookie. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. As far as receiving options, I would be shocked if Harold Fannin Jr. plays. I would be shocked if Jerry Jeudy plays. I could see them giving KC and Boston a series or two. They're not going to play the whole first half like they did with Deshaun Watson, though, okay? Those guys are locked into starting roles with this offense, and they're going to be taking heavy reps, like I've been saying, on Thursday. We might see them for a little bit, but I think primarily in that first half, Shedeur is going to be working with Gage Larvidan, Luke Floria, I don't know, maybe Cedric Tillman if he's healthy or even still on the team. I have no idea what's going on with him. But that's going to be your situation right there. Running back, probably going to start with Amani Marshall and Rocket Sanders right out the gate. They're not going to start Quinshon, and I doubt they have Dylan Sampson out there in the first half at all in this game. So I just want to prepare you guys. I know there's a lot of Shedeur Sanders fans that watch this show too, and I think I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to Browns fans who just want to see Shedeur get a fair opportunity. It's not going to be the same. This is not going to be a 1-for-1. It's not going to be, okay, Deshaun got these guys to start with on the first game. Shadeur's getting these guys. That's not going to happen. Okay? Todd Monken already said it's not going to happen. So take it for what you will. Like I said, it's not them saying, well, we're going to favor one guy over the other. It's the way the preseason works. There's a joint practice this week. We are scrimmaging on Thursday. It's really tough to make the same guys go out and scrimmage yet again. I mean, it's preseason. Guys, teams don't play their starters a lot of times anyway. So that's how it's going to go. Another thing I wanted to talk about here, in relation to the quarterback situation, but honestly just the team overall and how things go. There's another podcast that I listen to a lot. And one thing that they say all the time on that show that I love, and I try to adopt this as much as I can, is they say, stay water. What does that mean? So all off season, you guys watch the show, we do the content and everything. We have a good time talking about the Browns, the players, the draft, and we're all talking about what we hope will happen, what we think can happen, what we predict will happen. And we're using stats and data from last year and other things, comments from coaching staff and all this stuff to try and predict what's going to happen. But then we get actual football. We get training camp. We get practices. We get coaches' comments. We get media reports. We get preseason games. We get eyes on the football field ourselves. And a lot of the stuff that we were hoping for, predicting or projecting for the last 5 or 6 months, some of that's got to change pretty quick, and that's the whole meaning of stay water. Water will ebb and flow wherever it's being directed. So when I get new information and I get new details and insights about the team and it's different from what I've been saying, I got to change course and go with what I'm now seeing. And I'm telling you guys, as much as I was hopeful that Shedeur Sanders would be able to come into camp and outplay Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson's just never been good here in Cleveland. And, Shedeur's got this entire offseason now to prep and train and develop. And I think he can come out here and show out and prove that he is definitely, without question, the better week one starter than Deshaun Watson. That just didn't happen. I wish it would have. Okay, you guys know that. I am over the Deshaun Watson experience. I don't want to watch him play football anymore for my team. Deshaun Watson will be the week one starter. Obviously, that hasn't been announced. I'm just telling you guys, he will start week one. That's how it's going to go. Okay, and then part of again, Todd Monken has said that Shedeur will start Saturday, Deshaun will play the third quarter. Here's a prediction for you guys, and I do this sometimes because I want to see if I'm right, and I want to put it out there. I could very well be wrong about this. My prediction, because we've kind of seen things, Todd Monken, steer away from what he said he was going to do before now in practice. I could see Thursday comes around, joint practice with the Bills. I could see Deshaun Watson. We start to get the reports from the media from practice is saying, well, the first series in this session, whatever, against the Bills, Deshaun Watson took all the starter reps, all the first team reps. And then I could see it being like, well, here we go with a second first team session. Deshaun's back up. And I could see it almost going to instead of a 50-50 split in these first team reps, 75-25 in favor of Deshaun on Thursday. And then once we get to Saturday, whether they say it's going to happen before the game or whether they say it's going to happen after, or they talk about it in the press conference after the game, I've got a feeling Deshaun Watson is not going to play against the Bills in the third quarter. I got a feeling it's going to be Shedeur for the first half. We're going to come out of halftime, and it's going to be Dillon Gabriel under center. And if they don't talk about it before the game as making that switch, people are going to say, wait, what's going on? I thought Deshaun was supposed to be out here. And then after the game, they're probably going to say, well, we got to a point where we said, listen, Deshaun took a lot of reps on Thursday. We didn't really want to put him out here this quick of a turnaround. Plus, we didn't get to see any reps for Taylon Green in the first preseason game, and we wanted to get him some experience, so we gave him the fourth quarter. That's my prediction, everybody, okay? Again, I'm not reporting this. I'm not saying anybody has said this. I'm saying it. I'm predicting that's what's going to happen. Now, I could very well be wrong. Third quarter rolls around, Deshaun Watson's out there, and it's exactly the schedule that Todd Monken said it was going to be. I just wouldn't be surprised if it goes Shedeur, Dillon, Taylon, and we do not see Deshaun Watson in this preseason game. That's just a prediction. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about that. We'll see what happens. I'm interested. This week, I think, this week is one of those that could be very ho-hum and, by the book, so to speak, or it could get kind of interesting. But let's do another voicemail here real quick. And this one's from one of my favorite people in the world, Thriller from Canada.
Hey guys, Thriller from Canada. Just listened to the latest episode and wanted to say that I really like what Priya and Stacey had to say. There was one thing that Priya had mentioned that I kind of disagree with, and that is that the Cleveland Browns are trying to sell us on Deshaun Watson. That ship has sailed a very long time ago. We can all see that he's terrible. He's not regaining his form from when he was with the Texans, as well as he is injury prone. So what do you do with an asset that has no value and is depreciated every single year? Well, at the very least, you control the narrative around him and wait for a possible opportunity. An opportunity like another team that needs a quarterback because of an injury. You got to eat probably a whole bunch of guaranteed money, but maybe not all of it. Or you could maybe get a draft pick back. You never know. You also have to butter up that agent so that he can convince Deshaun to get rid of that no trade clause. So anyways, that's what I was thinking. You guys let me know what you think. And go Browns.
Thanks for the voicemail, Thriller. And I'm just going to say very simply, there's no trade coming for Deshaun Watson. That's not going to happen. And we've talked about it on the show. I know Justin's talked about it over the last few months about maybe they're, pumping him up, hyping him up, getting him, almost showcasing what he can still do and hoping that somebody will come and flip us a draft pick or something to take him off our hands. Yes, we would have to eat the contract and the money, but at least he would be gone and we could get a little something in return. Ain't going to happen. I'm telling you guys, it's not going to happen. Nobody, no NFL team is taking on that PR hit. Maybe if he had been any good since he came to Cleveland and there was tape to feel confident that, yes, this guy can still play at a high level, maybe somebody would be dumb enough to do it. The tape doesn't exist. It's not there. It's not going to happen. Speaking of some bad tape, I've been watching some things, some posts, and people have been breaking down film the last couple of days. And I said this on the show too the other night. It was very apparent. As soon as that first team offensive line exited the game and some pressure started to get into Deshaun Watson when he was on a drop back, you started to see like his go-to move when the first read isn't there is panic. And it's, I'm not saying this because I don't want him to play quarterback. I'm saying this because it's what I saw. And it's what we saw in 2024. As soon as there's any bit of pressure and that first read wasn't open, the eyes, instead of his eyes staying downfield, going through his progressions, trying to find the next guy, his eyes immediately go down. He's trying to find an escape route out of the pocket. Get me out of this pressure. I'm running away. And that's how he runs into sacks. That's how he got sacked on a play where his first read was Denzel Boston on the left sideline. He turns, he looks, Boston's covered. He can't throw it there. Immediately starts to panic and try to figure out how to escape the pocket. And he turns and he's even looking to the right side, but he's looking down, trying to find a lane to get out. And if he would have just been looking up when he turned to escape, Isaiah Bond was wide ass open. I just standing there like, hello. If you throw it to me, I'm probably going to accelerate and go score a touchdown. Like that's how open he was. He was in the middle of the zone. Nobody there. Nobody really behind. Like with his speed, you hit him, especially if it's not, in the dirt, like we saw him throw a dirt ball to KC. Gosh, I hate those dirt balls. Another wide open pass that should have been completed. But Isaiah Bond's wide open. Throw the ball. But he's panicking, trying to escape because his first read wasn't there. Oh my gosh, there's a little bit of pressure. And the pressure wasn't even that bad on that play. He ends up getting sacked anyway because he runs into it. Those are the type of things that he's going to start week 1. I think the Jaguars have a very good defensive front. I think Josh Hines-Allen is going to wreak some havoc on our offensive line, and I think it's going to get pretty ugly when Deshaun Watson can't just get rid of the ball immediately on a check down or his first read, and he's got to try to figure something out. It just historically hasn't been good, and we saw it already in that preseason game. It wasn't good, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Just some takeaways here from the game. I think that there were some plays where, Shedeur Sanders looked good. I think his poise in the pocket under pressure and duress, I'll tell you one thing, Shedeur's footwork the other day against the Bears noticeably improved from his footwork as a rookie. He has definitely been working on mechanics. There's some anticipation stuff with Shedeur that I would like to see better. There were some throws that he needs to be letting go of the ball a lot sooner than what he is. The comeback route on Malachi Corley, he was open. Dude, he was wide open on that pass, and Shedeur just threw it way late, gave the defender plenty of time to come back, jump the route, and knock the pass away. Otherwise, that should have been a completion. He had one to Gage Larvidan that was a completion, but it could have been a bigger gain if he'd have thrown the ball on time with anticipation instead of giving the defender more time to react. So there's some things. And again, if we can't be critical of Shedeur, then what are we doing? I mean, clearly he's not perfect, just like Deshaun's not perfect, just like any quarterback's not perfect. There's things he's got to get better at doing. And unfortunately, we saw it on the field. There are things, there are reasons, the anticipation stuff, some of the drop back, unfortunately the overthrow, which I know Chase Daniels was saying he thinks the ball was, wet with sweat from the center and it slipped and that's why he overthrew. Whatever. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like, we saw on the field why he has not outright claimed the starting spot from Deshaun Watson. Just is what it is. So that's where it is right now with this Browns quarterback situation. And I definitely think it's Watson week 1. So what else from the game, though, can we take away? Like I said, the starters, the way the starting offense, starting defense played was encouraging. The backups. Okay, so here we got some depth issues and some information to talk about. One of the better defenders on Saturday was Michael Coates Jr. He had the pass breakups. He had the interception there before halftime. For those who aren't familiar, I know I rattle off names sometimes. Michael Coates Jr., rookie UDFA, undrafted guy out of West Virginia. He's an older rookie. I think he's like 25. He might even be almost 26. I can't remember. I know like he is an older rookie, which we talked about back during the draft as a reason, part of why he probably went undrafted. I thought he looked good. I've had a lot of high hopes for Michael Coates just because we need somebody at corner. We need somebody to step up. Unfortunately, he left with an ankle injury, but yesterday Todd Monken said should be back this week. It wasn't a severe injury or anything like that. So that's great to hear. Michael Coates is okay. Nate Evans had a quad injury. He's a UDFA cornerback also out of Delaware, I believe. I should really look that stuff up because I'm just pulling off memory. He said he should be fine too. And then Brennan Bates, one of our backup tight ends, I didn't even know he left the game injured, but he did. And they said they're going to be waiting for some more information on his injury. I don't even think they said exactly what it was, but that one's not as important because I didn't think he was going to make the roster. Anyway, Nate Evans, probably not, probably practice squad candidate, but Michael Coates, that's a guy right there that I think, as long as he stays healthy, gets some more experience, could definitely make this roster and be, a special teams guy and play some snaps on defense if when needed, for injuries or whatever this season. But outside of that, man, the depth we talked about the other night, but it's worth talking about again. It's a big concern. So the Browns are going to have to do something. The problem is, what do you do? I see a lot of people say, well, you got to go out and you got to sign some good veterans or, go make a trade. Teams are getting ready for the season right now. There's not a lot of players available. One who would come in here and be able to make that kind of a difference right away because players who are that good are already on NFL teams. And two, if anybody's out there who is that caliber player that could come in and actually make a difference, in the secondary, on the defensive line, out of those guys, they have options. And we might not be their first option. So I know Mary Kay got some flack yesterday because she put out a report that the Browns were, now she didn't say they were signing Zadarius Smith, or she didn't say they had signed him. But I don't understand how she gets away with some of this stuff. She said the Browns are expected to sign Zadarius Smith. I'm pretty sure, unless it was fake, I'm pretty sure Zadarius Smith responded on Instagram or something and said, I have a workout with another team tomorrow. I haven't signed anywhere. Again, I didn't really look you guys let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. I didn't really look too deep into it because it was Sunday and I had family stuff going on. But, I don't know if that was actually Zadarius Smith that said that. But either way, it has not come out yet. It's not official that they've signed Zadarius Smith. They did have him in for a workout last week, and I think that there's a good likelihood that they sign him. But we'll talk more about Zadarius if they do. But that would be a good addition to the big three, whatever you want to call it. Edge rushers on the defensive line, Verse, Wright, McGuire. Get a good veteran presence in there, a guy who you can rely on. Now, he's not going to play at a super high level like he did 3-4 years ago when he was younger, but he can still give you something, and he's going to give you that veteran experience. Because otherwise, your only other option on the edge in that rotation is a UDFA. I'm not saying the UDFAs can't be good. I'm just saying you really want to put a little more stock in a veteran experience there. Because again, we love Jared Verse, high-level player. Alex Wright has just kind of been a guy throughout his career. Now, he's had a great training camp, but we'll see. Isaiah McGuire is a rotational player, and after that, if your next best guy is a UDFA that you're hoping can step up, you are really running a risk in that scenario. Todd Munkin said he's hoping to get Mike Hall Jr. back this week on the interior of that D-line. We'll see. I just have zero faith in Mike Hall. You guys know that. It's been rough, a rough, couple years of his career starting out with him. Did Quinshon Judkins really F him up that bad? So the last time, if you guys aren't familiar, the last time Mike Hall Jr. was on the field, on the practice field, was when they were still in shorts and shirts, and Mike Hall Jr. was rushing the passer, and then he just kind of pulled up because obviously you can't go full go in shorts, and Quinshon Judkins freaking laid him out. Just forearms to the chest, just feet out from under him, Mike Hall Jr. on his ass, just knocked him down. We haven't seen Mike Hall Jr. since that play. So did Quinshon really screw him up that bad that he has now missed like 2+ weeks of training camp, a preseason game? Like, wow. I don't know. But that's a little Buckeye on Buckeye action there for you in practice. Just interesting about Mike Hall Jr. But we'll see. Hopefully we get him back. I mean, we need help in that interior so badly because everybody's on the shelf right now. But we'll get practice report today. We'll see who's out on the field, who's not, who's coming back, who's still missing. Again, cornerback depth, major issue for this team right now.
Since 1989, Mount Hope Fence has set the standard in outdoor living. From decks and railings to fences and patios, we've got you covered. Our lineup features top brands like TimberTech, AlumaGuard, Preferred Railing, and Unilock, along with our own premium Duralux vinyl products. For over 30 years, we've partnered with contractors ensuring reliable job site delivery. Discover quality and excellence in all things outdoors with Mount Hope Fence.
Sticking with the defense here, I do want to read this message on the website from Ralph. Ralph, thank you for writing into the web. Again, if you guys want to get voicemails or you want to just write up a message and send it in, just go to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu up top, whatever. You'll get a pop-up. You can record your voicemail. You can listen to it back. If you don't like it, you can re-record it. It's a really nice feature for you guys out there. And then there's a message box right there that if you're just not comfortable with your voice being played on air, which I totally get, you're not alone. Just type up your message like Ralph did and send it in. Ralph says, with Myles Garrett gone and some pointing out some of his few flaws, the one that sticks out to me is he ended up in the backfield alone a lot of times chasing sacks. This in turn allowed Carson Schlesinger to become a tackling machine, I believe. And would you think that bringing in a guy like Jared Verse, who plays a more complete game, could bring down Schlesinger's tackles, but in turn make him even a better linebacker? Ralph, great question. I will tell you this right now. The first thing in your message that stands out to me, that Myles Garrett chasing sacks allowed Schlesinger to become a tackling machine. No. Carson Schlesinger was already a tackling machine, okay? Myles Garrett's presence on that defensive line did not turn him into, it may have opened up, and this is probably what you're alluding to here. It probably opened up more opportunities for some tackles in situations, maybe. But as far as being a tackling machine, in terms of being able to diagnose a play, get to the ball, and make the tackle, Carson Schlesinger's always been able to do that. That's what allowed him to go from walk-on at UCLA to All-American. Like, he is a phenomenal player. I think Carson Schlesinger will probably have more tackles this year than he did last year. He was a rookie last year. There were games where he only had like 6 or 7 tackles. I say only 6 or 7 as if that's not good. But, for him, a guy who by the end of the season was 10 plus tackles, 12, 14 tackles every game. Yeah, starting out with some games with like 6. That was low for him. I could see him the majority of games this year being 10 plus tackles and outpacing what he did as a rookie for sure. I think Jared Verse, Myles Garrett, Alex Wright, Schwarzenegger's going to get his because he's just that good. He is just that good. Barring the injury that he's dealing with right now isn't anything that holds him out or creeps back up later in the season. We don't know what he's dealing with. We don't know. If it's a hamstring type injury, we see hamstring injuries from camp linger into the season or creep back up, 3-4 weeks down the road. And I hope it's nothing like that because he's just so damn good. So good. But that's really what I wanted to dive into here today. Just kind of give you guys an overview for the week, what the practice plan was heading into this Bills game, give you guys some expectations, temper expectations for this game, especially if you're just like, Shador needs his opportunity with the ones. Guys, he's not going to get it. Okay? He's not getting an opportunity with the entire first-team offense the way Deshaun did last week. Okay? Whether that's fair, it's not fair, I'm telling you that is what is going to happen. So just be ready, okay? And it's just, I don't know how to say it. It's not intentional. They're not doing it to intentionally hurt him. It's just, this is the way it is. You got starters taking full scrimmage reps on Thursday. You're not going to turn around and make them do it again 2 days later. That's just not a smart move for an NFL team trying to get ready and keep people healthy for the season. So it just is what it is, guys. Again, we will be doing I'll be doing a preview show this week for the Bills game, and that should be Thursday. The problem with my schedule this week, just to give you guys a little insight, I would like to do that preview show later on Thursday after the joint practice so we have some more information. The problem is with my schedule, local high school football, we got family, playing in games and all this stuff. I got my kids, my wife's work schedule, it's a mess. I'm probably going to have to do that preview show early on Thursday before the scrimmage or before the joint practice even happens. So if that's the case, just make sure you guys are following us on social media, on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at The Dogs Podcast is the handle everywhere, because I will be doing short videos to recap what happened at the joint practice if I'm not able to incorporate it into the full podcast episode. So just wanted to give you guys a little update on that. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, I hope you're having a great Monday. I hope your week goes well. Don't get too discouraged by what we saw on Saturday against the Bills. Again, the entirety of the game wasn't good, but that's because the majority of the game was played with our backups who, unfortunately, aren't good or just aren't that experienced yet, because it's a lot of rookies. It's a lot of first and second year players, UDFA type players. There's a big drop off in talent, and we've been talking about this, so this shouldn't be a surprise. Me and Kenny have really been harping on this. There's a big drop off in talent from our first string guys to our second. And then when you get to the third, you see the progression there. So that's just kind of the way it is. But encouraging, the starting units looked good. It was actually the part of the game that was fun to watch. I was pleasantly surprised with how things started out in that first half. So we'll see. We got, again, joint practice Thursday with the Bills. A lot of good information and insight will be coming out of that. And then we get the game on Saturday. So, and that's the home game, the first game this season in Cleveland Brown or Huntington Bank Field, whatever it's called. And if you're going to that game, enjoy it, have fun, take in the atmosphere, and we're getting closer. We are now within. We are less than 4 weeks away from regular season kickoff in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. A lot of stuff to do, a lot of work to be done between now and then, but it'll be here before you guys know it. Again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys as always. Best audience in the world, best fan base in sports. You guys know that. Go to jointhedogs.com if you want to be part of our online Browns fan community. It's an awesome place to be. Great conversations. Again, like I said, breaking down all 22 film from the preseason game in there the other day. Everybody's like, it was just a great conversation. I just love the depths of conversation that can be had in there about the Browns. So just check it out. If you guys are interested at all, jointhedogs.com. Check it out. See if it's for you. Love to meet you. Love to see you in there. And again, I'll see you guys on Thursday when we preview the Bills game. Let's go Browns.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Follow us on social media at the Dogs Podcast and join our dog pack community at jointhedogs.com. We are dogs!
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.